I caught I caught Transformers 1, yo.
How was it?
Yo. Interestingly enough, yo, I feel like people should watch this movie. It is a phenomenal little origin story.
Really?
Now, me personally, I didn't read the comic books or anything like that. I don't know the whole story of Transformers from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize that there was an enemy that was before, like Megatron and them versus the Autobots. Mm-hmm. The Decepticons and the Autobots. It was the Quincenticons or Quinticons or something. And I'm getting it wrong, the name. But in this movie, it basically shows the origin of Optimus and Megatron. Super cool, man, how they came to be. They were homies at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did see that in the preview. Yeah, I saw they was like rocking.
They end up unlocking the abilities, and they find out that their world leader was basically duping them the whole time. So Megatron feels like, oh, I'm never following anybody again.
Yeah.
And Optimus is like, no, don't lose hope in you know. Nah, Megatron like, nah, we gotta eliminate these kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't want this to happen again. I was duped. And I don't like it. It frustrates him and turns him into Megatron. It's cool to see him become Megatron ultimately throughout the movie.
Really become like
And they
cool,
so they had Thor, my man, what's his name? Chris Hemsworth. If that's his name? Chris Hemsworth is his name? Man that played Thor. So. He was Optimus Prime. My man Keegan Michael Keel. Is that his name? Of the Key and Peele guys.
Oh yeah, that's
he
him.
was Bumblebee. He was hilarious.
He's mad funny, low key.
He was hilarious throughout the whole movie, actually. And then my man from the Atlanta series, the Paperboy that played Paperboy in the Childish Gambino ATL. Is it ATL or Atlanta series?
Yeah, it's
Whatever
ATL.
That joint. Brian something. Is it something Tyree? Brian Tyree.
The guy from the Eternals?
Brian Michael Tyree?
Yeah, him.
Okay.
Yeah. Brian Michael Tyree, if y'all didn't hear that. He from the Eternals as well. And from the new Kong movie. Like he's
bro,
Megatron.
Getting that money. Yo, getting that money low key.
He's Megatron. And I like it. I think they should keep I think they should make another one of them. I enjoyed that because it really lets you know like how their world kind of was going at that point. And you don't really get that. You kind of get bits and pieces of it through those movies that you have now, but now you understand why they're locked in mortal battle at all times now. You got the Decepticons and the Autobots that.
So what started the beef?
There was an original set of like primes that they had that was basically running the world, and they were running it with this thing that was powering the world basically. But there was this guy that was a servant of those guys that was a hater basically. So he set them up and got them ambushed and got all of them killed and basically took over as the leader of Cybertron. But now they had to do it through in order to get their actual ability, their energy source, they had to now mine for it, where it just flowed plentifully before. They had to mine for it. So he was basically over top of everything, running it with the Quintenticons or whatever, the other enemy at that point.
Quintuplicons.
They were basically ruling everything, and he was just kind of keeping them at bay and just cashing in on his being the ruler of everything. So he took what was called their like spark or whatever, their core thing, so they couldn't transform. They were known as minors. So you weren't born with this, you can't transform, you're a minor. But everybody was actually born with that. He was taking it from them from birth, keeping the system in play. And Optimus Prime essentially knew that it had to be something else. They kept telling him to not go to the surface, and he went to the surface finally and found all that shit and became Optimus Prime. His name isn't Optimus Prime at first, and neither is Megatron's. Their names are different. And I can't remember exactly what their mining name, because they were miners. They were just mining robots. They didn't have any like special powers or anything. They got those later.
That's dope. That's actually cool. That's actually cool.